Imagine standing on a Viking longship, the salty air swirling around you, the dragon-headed prow slicing through the waves. You believe in gods who feast, fight, and reward courage. Odin, the Allfather, and Thor, the Thunderer. Their world is one of sagas, raids, and living boldly. So why would anyone trade that for a god nailed to a cross? The Vikings' faith was forged in the harsh landscapes of Scandinavia, a religion for survivors and adventurers. Yet, over a few centuries, these same people turned from Odin and Thor to embrace Christianity. This wasn't a sudden revelation, but a slow, tangled process of power, politics, and shifting beliefs. Kings sought more power, traders saw new opportunities, and ordinary people tried to make sense of a changing world. The journey takes us from raided monasteries to the halls of Christian kings. We'll explore how a faith from the Middle East found its way into the frozen North. This is a story of survival, ambition, and the Vikings' incredible ability to adapt. The Vikings didn't vanish, they evolved. To understand why, we first need to see the world they left behind. Let's dive in. Norse religion wasn't just a Sunday ritual, it was woven into daily life. Odin, the wise and ruthless All-Father, demanded sacrifice and rewarded cunning. Thor, the everyman's champion, protected humanity with his hammer, Mjolnir. Wearing a hammer amulet was both protection and a plea for order. The Norse cosmos, centered on Yggdrasil, explained everything from seasons to fate. Die bravely, and Valkyries would carry you to Valhalla. Die otherwise, and hell awaited. This faith encouraged action, courage, and personal connection to the gods. There were no holy books, just sagas, rituals in sacred groves, and offerings to whichever god you needed most. It was practical, flexible, and deeply personal. The gods were tangible, their power felt in storms, harvests, and battles. This was the foundation of Viking identity, a faith for a people shaped by the sea, the sword, and the seasons. Their beliefs made sense for their world. But soon, that world would be challenged. The first cracks appeared on distant shores, and everything began to change. The Vikings' first real encounter with Christianity was anything but peaceful. In 793 they raided Lindisfarne, a holy island off England's coast. Monks, unprepared for violence, watched as Vikings stormed ashore, looting treasures and taking captives. To the Vikings, monasteries were just undefended buildings filled with gold. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle called it lamentable havoc. Europe was terrified. But the Vikings took more than loot. They took people. Captured monks brought their faith to Scandinavia, quietly praying to a god of peace and forgiveness. This was a new idea, so different from the Viking warrior ethos. The Vikings noticed the wealth and power of Christian kingdoms. The treasures they looted symbolized a different kind of power, structured, institutional, and unifying. They began to wonder if this Christian god offered more than just gold. These early encounters planted seeds of curiosity and change. The Vikings were opportunists, always looking for an edge. Christianity was now on their radar, and soon, it would reshape their world. As raiding gave way to trading and settlement, Viking leaders aimed higher. They wanted to be kings, not just chieftains, but to be accepted by powerful Christian neighbors. They had to join the club, and the entry fee was baptism. For ambitious rulers, converting was a political masterstroke. The church offered educated administrators, written laws, and a model for centralized power. Christianity unified kingdoms under a single faith and hierarchy, with the king at the top. The divine right of kings made rebellion a sin, not just a crime. Many conversions were pragmatic, not spiritual. Viking leaders saw the future in Christian Europe: organized armies, stable governments, vast trade networks. Adopting Christianity was a shortcut to power and survival. The cross became a key to European politics. For Viking kings, it was less about faith and more about securing their dynasty. The old gods were fading, a new order was rising. The turning point? Danish king Harald Bluetooth. Around 965, Harald declared Denmark Christian and made sure everyone knew. He commissioned the massive gelling stone. The stone shows Christ as a triumphant, almost Norse-like figure, alongside classic Viking imagery. The inscription boasts Harald, who won all of Denmark and Norway and made the Danes Christian. Legend says Harald converted after witnessing a miracle, but the real reason was likely political. Pressure from the Holy Roman Empire made conversion a smart, defensive move. Harald's public embrace of Christianity set a precedent for other rulers. He adapted the new faith to fit Viking values, strength, victory, and power. Churches rose, but so did Harald's authority. His decision modernized Denmark and secured his rule. The gelling stone marks the moment when old and new collided. Harald's gamble changed Scandinavia forever. Conversion wasn't instant. Vikings blended old and new for generations. Many wore both Thor's hammer and the Christian cross, hedging their bets. Archaeologists found molds for casting both symbols, faith as insurance. Early art depicted Christ as a warrior king, apostles as loyal thanes. This made Christianity relatable to a culture that prized strength and loyalty. Churches were built atop pagan sites, signaling the new god's dominance but easing the transition. People kept old traditions, just under new names. The shift was gradual, a dance between two worlds. Syncretism made the new faith familiar, not foreign. The Vikings didn't abandon their past, they wove it into their future. The blending of beliefs softened the shock of change. Over time, Christianity took root, but echoes of the old gods remained. The transformation was messy, creative, and uniquely Norse. This is how a new faith truly took hold. Christianity reshaped Scandinavia from the ground up. Local assemblies and blood feuds gave way to centralized laws and royal authority. The church brought literacy, schools, and a new class of administrators. Ironically, Christian monks preserved the Old Norse myths, writing them down as the old faith faded, but much was lost. Sacred groves destroyed, traditions suppressed, and the warrior ethos replaced by Christian virtues. Women's rights diminished under the church's patriarchal structure. The landscape changed. Stone churches replaced ancient worship sites. The Viking Age ended not with a battle, but with baptisms, laws, and the rise of a new order. Children grew up knowing only Christ, while Odin and Thor became legends. The transformation was profound and irreversible. The old world faded, but its stories survived. Scandinavia was remade, forever changed. Why did the Vikings become Christians? It was never simple. Power, politics, ambition, and survival all played a part. Kings sought legitimacy, traders sought opportunity, and people adapted to survive. The Vikings didn't just accept Christianity, they reshaped it, blending old and new. The conversion ended the Viking Age, but not the Viking spirit. Their energy shifted from raiding to exploration, trade, and nation-building. The longship was docked, but the spirit of adventure endured. Cultural change is messy and human. Beliefs adapt to new realities. The Viking story is a lesson in resilience and transformation. The gods of Asgard faded, but their echoes remain. The Viking spirit still sails on, in legend and in life.